To me that there are people who are just so unaware of the world or just so, yeah, so you'll catch me watching some of that shit.
It's funny about the Kardashians. I definitely like. I'm definitely glad you mentioned
They
them.
make me
Now,
laugh. It happens, and the signs. It's really funny when you go into the stadiums. They'll have a big sign saying like "No gambling, no gambling," and then right under the sign there'll be some guy like throwing the hand signs for gambling. No, it's never personally happened to me though. So I also have a really good pool of guys to train with that are like my size. They don't have big egos, so they don't have to overstrength you or overpower you.
all right, guys, this is Crazy Kev here, and I'm here with Jada Ketley. Jada, how we doing?
I'm great, thanks. How are you?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. I can't complain. And you just had a fight not too long ago. Talk us a little bit more about your matchup and what's maybe next for you.
So I got a dislocated elbow in my last fight. It was an MMA fight for M2 MMA promotion. I was winning the fight. It was very much going my way. And then just last 40 seconds, the ref kind of like, because it's in a ring, not a cage. If you start hanging out of the ring, the ref will stop you and reposition you. And he did reposition us, and then rather than sort of just kind of like when I got put in her guard, rather than just kind of being patient and knowing like I'm winning the fight, I'm just gonna sit here and sort of like um, take my time and be patient. I sort of rushed for a head and arm choke, and I just got caught in an armbar. And actually, I didn't even know that my elbow had dislocated. The referee stopped the fight because he heard it snap, and and when I went to object to him stopping it, I realized I couldn't move my arm, and I thought it had fallen asleep. But when I looked down, my elbow was just like completely out. Hopefully what will be next is I've actually just been training a lot of Muay Thai at the moment. I was back in training really quickly. I had a really quick recovery. I was just doing some striking, wanted to like work on some things. Obviously, didn't want to get back into grappling too quickly, but I've really been enjoying it. And there are a few things I didn't get to accomplish in Muay Thai when I was in it. And so I just want to have a few fights there and then make my way back to MMA probably towards the end of the year or sometime at the start of next year.
That's awesome. That definitely sounds really cool. I'm glad you're getting back into Muay Thai. Now, talk us a little bit more about training in Thailand. What is that like, and kind of how do you think it's helping your game?
So I've actually lived in Thailand a really long time. I've lived here for like 12 years. I started fighting when I left Thailand and then came back a few years after I'd started. Um, Thailand's great. Like I love being at Bang Tao. I love my team. It's the things I love about Thailand is like in comparison to other countries, recovery is like actually really accessible and cheap here. It's easy to get massages. The sauna is really cheap. You know, we're lucky in that sense. Even like physiotherapists, if you need them, in comparison to prices you might pay in Australia or Europe or the USA, like it's very, very affordable. Training is probably more expensive, like on a monthly thing in comparison to more intimate gyms, like maybe in other countries. But it's obviously great because we have such a variety. Like if you want to work on your striking, we've got amazing Muay Thai coaches, and you have that variety of like kickboxing, Muay Thai. It's really like, especially in Phuket, mixed martial arts has grown so much. I think like Phuket is almost, it's like a fighter's fantasy because there's just so many gyms, so many options. It's also paradise. I love it. I have no plans to go anywhere else.
That's awesome. That definitely sounds like a really awesome place. Now, when it comes to Thailand, I mean, who do you think are some of the best training partners to make you the best version of you?
So I've had Casey O'Neill. She's my best friend. She comes back and forth sometimes, and I absolutely love training with her. She always helps me level up, especially being at Bangtan. I mean, I've trained with Meatball Molly. We've had Wei Lee come through. I've had Casey. Um, I've had so many good partners. I also have a really good pool of guys to train with that are like my size. They don't have big egos, so they don't have to overstrength you or overpower you. Oh my God, I've had so many amazing training partners. Like I could just go on forever about it. Yeah.
So, Casey O'Neill, you ended up fighting her as well too, right?
Yeah, she was my first MMA fight. That's how it like all started. Yeah.
That's awesome. That's definitely pretty cool that you guys came together. Now, when it comes to Thailand, I mean, what's maybe some of your favorite things about like Thailand when it comes to like sightseeing and stuff?
Beaches, like I love the beaches here. It's really funny because like as a local, well, local, there's actually so much I haven't seen, and I've said this a lot to some of my friends because obviously you get really caught up into your day-to-day training life, and then the weekend comes, and we train on a Saturday, but then you're kind of like just resting and recovering when on your days off. So usually I'll go to the beach, but there's so many waterfalls, there's temples, a lot of hidden gems that I've yet to find. But it's the kind of place where you can just get on your moped and like drive around it, and you're bound to find something somewhere that's like maybe not so many tourists. And oh, there's just Thailand's such a beautiful place. You'd be driving your bike to the beach, and there'll just be like elephants on the side of the road sometimes, or yeah, cows or buffalo. We get a lot of buffalo right near the gym. That's really great, the water buffalo, and they're very placid. They're very chill, like nothing to be afraid of or anything. So
Wow. Okay,
yeah.
that's pretty incredible. Then I didn't know that about the elephants and stuff. That's the first time me hearing that. Now, when it comes to like your training and stuff, I mean, when you're in the gym, I mean, what kind of music do you like to listen to when you're training?
Oh, that's so funny. You'll catch me like, especially now at the moment in Muay Thai, if I'm skipping or jumping on the tire, I'll have my headphones on and I'll be like in my own world having a dance. At the moment, my vibe is Afro beats. I'm listening to a lot of that. I actually, I love music in the sense of like I sing and I play guitar, but I actually don't listen to a lot of music in my free time because I just think it's very subconsciously influential. And so I choose to sort of stay away from it at times. But if I am training and I'm listening to music, uh, rather than actually listening to like aggressive stuff that would hype me up, I like music that puts me in a good mood. So like Afro beats is definitely my go-to.
Very nice, very nice. I like it. That's definitely pretty cool. I've been hearing a little bit of Afro beats recently as well too. Now, when it comes to training and stuff, what do you think are some things that you need to improve on your game to make you even better?
So the reason why I've gone back to Muay Thai is I felt like I had this obsession when for a long time when I was in MMA that I had to improve on my grappling. I mean, ironic, since I got my elbow dislocated in my last fight, but I had this thing of like I got to progress in my grappling and I got to progress there, and I was really fixated on that, and I sort of neglected my stand up. Like I was only really striking when I was doing sparring. And at one point, like um my grappling really improved, but it got to a point where I was like, okay, kind of grappling on the same level I was striking, and that shouldn't be the case because I've been striking a lot longer. So like there should always be maybe that tiny gap in between. So I've actually decided to be doing Muay Thai because I think I lost some of my strengths and some of my weapons that I was really good at before that I just sort of lost along the way while focusing on while focusing on grappling, sorry. So actually, I'm just trying to improve my striking. I just want to level up there again because I think the more comfortable I get there and the more leveled up, the more that gives me the confidence when it comes to like wanting to shoot and setting up shots or, even with defending because I know like, okay, well, if you want to take me down, you got to get past my knees and my teeps and stuff like that. So I'm actually putting a lot of my focus back into striking at the moment. And then towards the end of the year, I plan to get back into grappling.
Very nice, very nice. Now, when it comes to your grappling that you were practicing, what do you think was maybe some of the hardest techniques to kind of master in the gym?
Oh, wrestling is like just like a double leg. Frank will be watching this. Like, yeah, she's still retarded at that. Just basic, just basic shots sometimes. Like I've got the drilling, I've got it down. It's just trying not to be a spastic when I'm going live. It's if I'm not thinking and I'm more flowing, I can get really good into like chain wrestling and stuff. But sometimes there's just like the overthinking kicks in and I hesitate and then I'll just struggle with basic things in wrestling. But wrestling's definitely the hardest aspect. It's the hardest martial arts that I've done, out of everything. Yeah, it's
Oh
very
yeah, yeah,
difficult.
yeah. No, 100%. I definitely agree with you there when it comes to wrestling. Now, when it comes to training and stuff in the gym, what's maybe some of your favorite memories that you might have?
Oh, geez. Um, oh, there's so many. I actually really like some of my favorite things with training is I really love when I run the Saturday circuit and everybody, so guys run the Saturday circuit. If you've got a fight coming up, it's kind of like a Shark Tank sort of thing. It's very intense, but usually like the team gets together, and even if you're not participating, you're sort of there cheering each other on. And it's always a really great vibe. Like I really love when the team gets together and we show up for one another in that sense. Um, but I really couldn't tell you like I mean I've been doing it for 9 years, so like I couldn't really give you like one specific thing, but I just think every day is a good vibe. We've got such a great group of people. I love training with the Thai coaches at the moment. They're very funny. They're very like Thai coaches are very special. It's something like if you train with them and you've experienced it, you know it, you make this special bond with them. They're so enthusiastic. They have so much energy for you. I really love that because if I go in there and I'm telling them like, hey, I really want to work on this, or they really have been giving a lot of energy to me. And so at the moment, I'm just vibing on that.
Fair enough. Fair enough. That's definitely makes sense. Now, when it comes to MMA and Muay Thai, when it comes to the fighting aspect, besides the grappling, what do you think is maybe like some of the biggest differences between the two?
Yeah, so Muay Thai is more of like you're just going to stand toe to toe and like throw. So and there is it's very much like a chess match. So it's just like I go, you go, I go, you go. And it's a little bit more, rather than big combinations, it is a little bit more of like individual strikes, but they're thrown with a lot of bad intentions. Like it's really to kill. Like I'm not just trying to touch you up, like I'm just trying to kill you there and then. Um, and MMA is a lot more like there's a lot more, I know the gloves are smaller and stuff, but there are times where I've fought 15 minutes completely unhurt or unbothered, as where, I've fought 2 rounds of Muay Thai and my shins are really banged up and like I'm sore because MMA, like people don't really check kicks, they don't block that way. As where in Muay Thai, when you're kicking, you're like blocking each other's stuff. It's a lot of like shin to shin. Um, you're wearing a lot more damage because you're not moving around as much and you're not in that very far space that you get in MMA where it's in and out. So I think it's a lot more brute. Muay Thai is definitely a lot more brutal in that aspect, and it's in my opinion like a lot more painful.
Fair enough. I was actually going to ask that soon, so you kind of answered my question there. Now, when it comes to conditioning your shins, what do you kind of do to get your shins strong for your fights?
Kicking the heavy bag, kicking like solid pads. I mean, you see some people they go and kick banana trees. That's not really my thing. You'll also see like Thais often will spar without shin pads just because they're really controlled. They're not trying to. Sparring in Muay Thai is very playful, but they will spar without shin pads. And even though like maybe the force isn't as strong, it's still like helps you develop your shins and stuff. So for me, it would just be like kicking the bag. And over time with fighting, I mean, one of my shins, like my left shin particularly, is just like got dents and bumps all through it. And it just, yeah, they just get used to it over time.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Okay, that makes a lot of sense. Now, outside the cage, when you have some free time, I mean, do you ever watch any TV shows or movies? And if so, what's maybe some of your favorite stuff?
Yeah, oh no, this is so embarrassing. I'm such like I love to switch off and one of the best ways for me to switch off is watching like really mind-numbing TV series like Love Island and stuff. Like I'm into that. It's so lame, but I do love it. At the moment, I'm actually watching The 100. I'm just finishing that off. That's a that's actually like a very that's a good TV series about people who had to like evacuate Earth and then hundreds of years later they try to come back and then there's all like war shit that happens. Yeah, I watch a lot of dumb shows. That's probably like one of my guilty pleasures. Even like you might catch me watching the Kardashians, although I kind of loathe them. It's just because they're funny. I just watch it and it's so bizarre to me that there are people who are just so unaware of the world or just so yeah, so you'll catch me watching some of that shit.
That's funny about the Kardashians. I definitely like. I'm definitely glad you mentioned
They
them.
make me
Now,
laugh. I really like Scott. Is it Scott? He's like my favorite on there. He's just very funny. So,
that's awesome. Fair enough. Fair enough. I like it. Now, I was checking out your arm. You got a couple tattoos. Talk to us a little bit more about some of your favorite ones that you got here.
so my favorite one is probably actually this Sakyan.
Okay.
I got that's called the Heart Tail. So like each line is I'm pretty sure it's a Buddhist scripture. I cheated a little bit on that. I didn't get that done with bamboo because I'm a little bit OCD and I've seen some bamboo work, which I was like, oh, I think I just want it to be clean. I got that 2 days before my first fight, actually. I also have another Sakyan here. It's That was with bamboo, and that is I can't remember the name of it, but it's basically the balance between feminine and masculine energy. Um, it's got like it's like a man and a woman sort of dragon thing on there. I've got like another tattoo there. That's a
Yeah.
lotus. They're all kind of, it's really funny looking back at photos when I first got them done and what they look like now. And they've definitely um, kind of like the lines aren't as fine or anything, right? And the color changes. That says mum and dad in Thai. I have this one as well. I got that done. Me and my dad just randomly decided one night after dinner to get tattoos while he was here visiting me. I have a small one on my ankle. Um, and then I have a tramp stamp that I got when I was like 15 when I moved to Thailand, and I tried to do it out of spite to my parents, but they actually didn't care, so it sort of backfired on me.
Fair enough. Fair enough. No, you definitely have some pretty cool tattoos. Now, with you getting it done with bamboo, like, did that hurt or anything? What was that kind of like?
Nah, so I've never had to be fair, I think tattoos hurt like obviously the longer you're in the session. I've never done more than about an hour and a half. The bamboo, no, to be fair, it didn't hurt. I think it's more where you get it done. Like when I got this
Okay.
done, just right up towards near the armpit area, that really hurt.
Okay.
Um, but no, the one on the back of my arm, no, it was all right. I went to training straight up. I mean, it's probably dumb, but I got the tattoo and then I just went to training straight away. Um, so no, I think like guns definitely a lot faster and maybe more sanitary, depends. I mean, I got this done at the top of a guest house in the like bungalow villa area outside. I'm probably lucky it didn't get infected. But guns definitely quicker, a little bit neater and cleaner. But he definitely did really good work on my arm there.
Yeah, yeah, no, 100%. I definitely agree. Now, when it comes to the one tattoo you got like 2 days before your fight, I mean, how was that? What kind of came about? How come you got it right before your fight?
I think maybe a little bit superstitious at the time, just kind of wanted some good luck. Also, I'm a little bit impulsive, just sort of making decisions on the spot. And I asked my trainer, I'm like, would it be cool if I got a tattoo right before I fought? And he's like, yeah, I can't see why not. So I just went in and I was thinking about I knew I wanted a sakyan. Um and that's probably like it's probably the most common one that you'll see. But yeah, I just went for it. Can't really give you like a special reason. But mostly I thought it would bring me some good luck.
Nice, nice. That's definitely pretty cool then. Now, when it comes to Muay Thai, when you're getting ready to get a fight scheduled, like when you have to go through like all like your medicals, maybe like paperwork and stuff, talk us a little bit more about like the behind the scenes that you have to deal with.
Oh, here there's none of that.
None of it.
No, not really. I think I'm just trying to think when I've fought on TV here. I know during COVID that we had to take a blood test for COVID, which I don't even think that's actually how they test you for COVID, but they took blood. But that's the risk you run. Like if you fight here and you go to a local stadium, there are no HIV tests, there are no STD tests, there's none of that. Like you book a fight and then you show up and um a lot of the times like people don't even check weight. So I mean, I fought girls like 10 kilos heavier than me. I fought some girls smaller than me. It's not like that in Australia. Like you have to have bloods that are 6 months maximum. Like you have 6 months. They'll like check your heart rate and stuff like that. Here's none of that. Even if you do cut weight and check weight, you just check weight and then you show up the next day and fight. And there's no protocols or
Wow.
anything.
That's incredible. So when you're getting ready to do like a Muay Thai fight with like you mentioned, maybe fighting girls that are a little bit heavier and stuff than you, like what are the nerves kind of like when you're going in there and competing?
I don't really get nervous when I fight Muay Thai. When I fight MMA in the past, um, I get really, really anxious. I think because there's such an emphasis on your record, as we're in Muay Thai, like your coaches don't care if you win or lose, but they just care how you perform at the end of the day because they know things happen. There can be, get in Thailand, like you could be winning a fight, but if everybody's bet on your opponent for the sake of like keeping the stadium calm, your opponent could win. It's very political at times. So um, I don't really get nervous when I fight Muay Thai. I don't know why. I never did, even the first time I had to fight. Um, sometimes I get like maybe anxious in the sense of I'm excited. I really just want to get out there. I want to get it done. And the only time I've ever been nervous is to underperform. That's I think the only it was when I first started out. I was always worried about maybe looking a bit stupid. But no, I think also in the sense it's so casual here. So in Australia or when you have MMA, where in MMA you're really spoiled. You get like your own warm-up room. You don't have to see your opponent the whole time. It's very, as we're in Muay Thai, like I'll be warming up and my opponent will be 10 meters away also warming up. And then you're kind of like sizing each other out. And then right before you fight, you just sit next to each other and watch the fight before you. And it's very nonchalant. Like it really just feels like another day being in an office. So I've never really battled with nerves for Muay Thai. Um, as where in MMA, I've had almost like I get like too much cortisol. I get so stressed out and nervous that my body releases too much cortisol. And then I almost feel like I'm, when you're in a dream and you're trying to fight and you can't move properly. Yeah, I've had that feeling a couple of times in MMA.
Wow. So how about that? I didn't know that about the betting and stuff when it comes to Muay Thai fights. So when you ever had like a Muay Thai fight, did that ever happen to you where maybe someone bet against your opponent and they just picked them because of like that?
Nah, like I've never fought in a stadium where it's like super, heaps of people and heaps of betting because I've always fought in when it's been stadiums in Thailand, I've always fought in like more small ones locally in Phuket. Um, but it does happen a lot. I saw it happen to my brother. When the bets start getting really, really high, you know, although gambling's illegal in Thailand, like it happens, and the signs, it's really funny when you go into the stadiums, they'll have a big sign saying like no gambling, no gambling. And then right under the sign there'll be some guy like throwing the hand signs for gambling. No, it's never personally happened to me though.
Fair enough. Wow, that's definitely pretty interesting stuff. Now, when it comes to competing, you mentioned like some arenas that you were in. What was maybe your favorite arena that you competed in, whether it was Muay Thai or MMA?
Oh, I really liked competing when I fought on UAE Warriors in Abu Dhabi. Really beautiful stadium, really big cage. They were the whole week, like they really organized it so well that I didn't have to think about anything. I just showed up. I had a schedule put out in front of me. They really stuck to it. So there was no like sudden changes where they were throwing me off. I didn't see my opponent literally until weigh-ins, and then fight night. So I really, really enjoyed my experience, on UAE Warriors. And then I think when I went to MMA and then I came back to Muay Thai, that's when I realized how spoiled we were in MMA because when I had to warm up and I was just looking at my opponent and you're in this dirty back room that's right next to the toilet and it's all concrete slab and um other people have been in there all sweating and stuff. I was like, oh, wow, we really got it good in MMA, don't we? Or even in Australia, it's a bit more private. You have the red corner stays in one room, blue corner stays in the other room. It's separated, it's clean, it's all set up, it's spacious. The back rooms here where you get ready are not like that at all. And the whole public can see you. Like anyone can just come up to you and like sometimes not it's never happened to me, but my brother would be out the back, especially like he lived in a part of Thailand that was very not a lot of white people in Ubon Ratchathani, and I think that's in the north. And Thais would just go, he'd be outside on just like a little picnic mat getting oil rubbed down because the fight was outside. I mean, if it rained, you'd just fight in the rain. Like that's how it is there. And all the Thais would just come up and they'd literally grab his arms and feel his muscles and start putting money down. And you can't be like, no, I need to get in my zone. I need to be, there is none of that. You're just like, you're a show pony.
Wow. Okay. Okay. Fair enough. Now, when it comes to MMA, you mentioned like the blue and red corner. What's maybe the biggest difference between the red and the blue corner? Nothing.
Nothing. I mean, I always thought that the red corner was always supposed to be like the favorite, the home favorite, or the superior corner. But lately, I've been going to the stadiums and I see that sometimes the foreigners are, for me, I don't know. It doesn't even
Nothing.
matter. Yeah, no, I think it's just usually I know that the red corner comes out last. So, and
Okay.
also if you look at the UFC, usually it's the red corner will be the champion.
Right.
So, if two people are fighting, the person in the red corner is the one who has the belt.
Fair enough. Fair enough. That makes sense. Now, you mentioned traveling to Abu Dhabi. What was maybe some of your favorite things that you might have saw there?
We actually just spent all week in the hotel. It was
Okay.
just, yeah, we were just, it was like sort of secluded. There wasn't really anywhere to walk to or anything. Also, Abu Dhabi's a bit pricey, and I'm just there to like finish the fight week, like get my weight off, kind of sit by the pool, not spend too much money. I mean, we were lucky. They all the food was free and everything like that. So yeah, me and George just hung out at the hotel. We ate meals together, and then I would go back to the room, sort of watch fighting or watch my TV shows that help me switch off. Yeah.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Now, we mentioned a little bit of what you like to do outside the cage. Now, what's maybe something cool that maybe fight fans might not know about you?
I mean, it's not really like it's on my Instagram, but a lot of people don't know it. But I sing and play guitar.
Nice.
A lot of people don't expect that. I think when I talk, my voice is a little bit more on the like deeper husky side, but then when I sing, I sound very, very girly. So I like to sing and play the guitar. I taught myself to do that. Um, I like to color in like adult coloring books. I just find it very relaxing and it helps me sort of switch off and meditate sometimes almost. Um, yeah, that's about it. I feel like a lot of my stuff is pretty public, so
Fair enough. Fair enough. Now, when it comes to like playing the guitar, what's maybe some of your favorite songs that you like to play?
definitely love banging out some Ed Sheeran.
Nice.
I really like singing, playing the song Hallelujah. You know that one?
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah, I love that one. There's a couple of songs in Portuguese that I like to play and sing. Um, what would be my favorite? I really, really love singing by it's called My Beautiful Girl by, is it Colorful Colors? And I don't even remember the name of the band. Yeah, so but Ed Sheeran's probably my favorite. I really love some of his stuff, especially Kiss Me by Ed Sheeran. That's probably my favorite to play on the guitar. Yeah.
That's awesome. So, how did you kind of get into singing as well, too?
So I just could always sing. It's sort of like my mum can sing, and people in her side. My dad's tone deaf, so I did not get it from my dad. Actually, when I was in year two, I was learning to play the violin at school, and we were learning to play "My Heart Will Go On" by Celine Dion. And we were in there getting our violins tuned and stuff, and I was singing it, and my violin teacher said, "Oh wow, you actually have a really, really beautiful voice." And I was like, "Oh, really?" And then from then I got into it, and I remember my dad bought me a karaoke machine when I was about 9. And actually, before I started fighting, like two or three, I was training, but I'd never fought before, and I actually auditioned for The Voice Australia.
Wow.
And I'd gotten through the online auditions and stuff, and I was at the auditions just before the TV one. I think that they were also more interested in my backstory because they love someone with a good sob story, and I have a bit of a backstory. Like my brother was in a motorbike accident, and he has a paralyzed arm and like damage to the face and stuff. And then I started training, sort of to like get him back into training, and I think they were interested in that story, but I didn't get through originally, and they pulled me to the side and they were like, "Look, if you went away for a year and you got some singing lessons and some experience singing in front of people, we feel like you could come back next year and really like go much further along than if we let you through this year." So that was actually a goal. I was gonna, okay, go away, do all that, audition again next year. But I ended up in Thailand 2 months later on a holiday to like visit some of my friends. And I was training, and my trainer convinced me to take my first fight. And then after that, I was just hooked, and I decided to go on this journey instead.
Wow, that's pretty cool
Yeah.
about the voice. I definitely didn't know that. Now, yeah, and when it comes to me, I'm actually a Taekwondo instructor. I've been teaching for
Okay.
6 years now, and I started when I was 5 years old. So I've been doing it for 19
Nice.
years now. So I love martial arts as well too. So with
That's
all
a
the
long
people I have at
time.
my gym, yeah, with all the people I have at my gym, what advice do you give to them to keep on coming into the gym and to keep on getting better and better every day?
Just like something I've actually been working on with my mind coach that's been really helping me is rather than having expectations of yourself, just set yourself a standard. So it's really easy to get lost in expectations, and it's really easy to get frustrated when we have them. But if you can at least hold yourself to a certain standard, and that's probably just to like put your best foot forward every day, even if that's maybe 50% today compared to what it was yesterday, like I think it's just going to be easier like mentally that way, and just to enjoy it, because one, we don't get to do this forever, like and it could be taken away tomorrow. After I dislocated my elbow, like I realized this could be gone in the blink of an eye, you know, and I've put so much pressure on myself to the point where I wasn't having fun anymore. So just like enjoy it, be grateful that you can move your body, that you know you have an outlet like that, and enjoy the ride. Just enjoy the ride. It's such an awesome, martial arts is such an awesome thing. It's a great community. Even if like nothing ever happened with my career, I wouldn't change it. I'm just so grateful for like the people I met, the community I'm involved in, the skills that I've learned. I think it's such a privilege to be involved in martial arts. So just enjoy it.
Oh yeah, no, martial arts is definitely an awesome thing. Like I said, it definitely brings like people like us together from like all over the world. So it's definitely a great thing, no doubt about it. I definitely think that was an awesome message as well too. So
Thank you.
Jada, it's been awesome talking to you. Thank you so much for coming on. What's maybe your final message out there to the fans watching this video?
Um, just be grateful for life. Like if you woke up today and you can breathe and you got a roof over your head and you can call someone that you love, like just be grateful, say thanks, because life is really, really short, and it's too short to even be bitter or miserable. And I spent a long time being in a bad headspace, and I feel like I'm so glad I figured it out now. Would have been great earlier on, but like just thank God for life.
Yeah, yeah, I definitely agree with you. That was definitely an awesome message, and it's been awesome talking to you as well too. Thank you so much for taking the time. It means a lot to me, and hopefully we can do another one in the future. Thank you so much, and good
Yeah,
luck with the rest
thank
of
you
your
so
career.
much. Thank
No
you.
worries at all. All right, enjoy the rest of your night, and it's morning for me. It's only 9:30 for me. It's crazy how this works sometimes.
Oh, it's really like Thailand's just such a, because if you're in Australia, it's like so far apart that it's enough. Like as where Thailand's just in this like very awkward time zone. So yeah, it's like just it's only Wednesday morning for you, isn't it? It's almost
Yeah,
Thursday morning for me. It's so weird.
it's definitely weird. But like I said, I definitely don't mind doing the time zones. It's cool to kind of, like, I guess, talk to somebody from in a totally different place. And I'm glad we got to share a little memory here with the interview. Again, thank you so much for taking the time.
No, no, thank you. Thanks for having me.